World War III, North Korea defector warns of huge human sacrifice if U.S. strikes Pyongyang. North Korea would be willing to sacrifice millions of lives should the United States decide to respond militarily to World War III threats, North Korean defector Tai Young-ho warned. North Korea would heavily respond to any type of attack coming from the United States, kickstarting World War III. Mr. Tai, who served as a diplomat for North Korea before escaping, said the North Korean military was trained to fire back in any way in the event of an attack. Speaking to PBS NewsHour, he said, "I think even a limited strike by the U.S. can bring a full-scale conflict on the Korean peninsula, because all of North Korea's military has been trained to fire back in any way. Even if a small part of North Korea is attacked by the U.S. given the fact that more than 10 million of the South Korean population lives in a 100 miles range of North Korean artillery and missiles, I think that immediate and automatic response from the North Korean military can create huge human loss on the South Korean side. If that is the case, American and South Korean forces might retaliate in full scale. That's why it will easily escalate into a full-scale war on the Korean peninsula, which would mean huge human sacrifice." Mr. Tai said a possible solution to the growing international tension with North Korea would be to attack Kim Jong-un's status with his people and undermine his godlike perception. He explained the population was increasingly accessing illegally imported South Korean movies and dramas, opening them up to other ways of life. Despite international warnings, North Korea has upped its aggressive rhetoric against the U.S. and its Asian allies, sparking fears World War III could be declared at any moment. U.S. President Donald Trump kickstarted his tour of Asia with a brief visit to the USS Arizona Memorial in Pearl Harbor to commemorate the victims of the Japanese attack that drew the U.S. into World War II. The trip, the longest tour of Asia by a U.S. president in 25 years, comes at a time of heightened tension between Washington and Pyongyang. Mr. Trump will travel to Japan, China, South Korea and Vietnam to rally support from regional actors in an attempt to placate Kim Jong-un's explosive rhetoric. The saber-rattling between Mr. Trump and Kim Jong-un amid the fears of World War III has been a cause of concern around the world. South Korean intelligence found North Korea is ready to carry out yet another nuclear test despite suffering major damage to its main testing facility in Pyongy. Seoul's National Intelligence Service said, "There is a possibility of a new missile launch given the active movement of vehicles around the Missile Research Institute in Pyongyang." Recent tests carried out at Pyongy in early September registered as a 5.7 Mach